Oh, my main investments at the moment are agriculture and currencies, U.S. dollars, in fact. To my astonishment, I'm optimistic about the U.S. dollar, which I've been terribly pessimistic about for years.
Yeah, because you actually up and left the U.S. You've settled in Singapore.
Yeah, we
now.
moved to Singapore 6 years ago. Yes, I am still an American citizen, but we live in Singapore.
What's made you turn around your view of the United States? Because you were kind of Mr. Down on the West, up on the East.
I'm still down on the West. I'm still down in the U.S. The U.S. is the largest debtor nation in the history of the world, Evan, in the history of the world. But we're about to have a lot more currency turmoil. The Japanese are printing money, the English are printing money, the Europeans are printing money. So in times of turmoil, rightly or wrongly, people go to the U.S. dollar. They think it's a safe haven. It is not a safe haven, Evan, but people are going to go there. So I went there too.
Which brings me to another point I wanted to ask you about, Jim, because you're somebody who looks at fundamentals when you invest. You worked with George Soros. Does it ever amaze you how few people in finance invest that way? They're all so-called momentum investors. They're not thinking about where the money should go. They're looking at charts and extrapolating lines, or
and
their
a lot
computers.
of it is computerized now. There's instant computerized trading. Oh, you're exactly right. The bulk of the volume on the New York Stock Exchange, for instance, is the kind of investor you're talking about. But that leaves opportunities for people who are willing to find the things that nobody else is looking at, and perhaps find, hidden gems and hidden investments.
Is actually that we are in the fifth technology revolution. There has been four before. The fifth technology revolution is all about ICT. It's about actually using the technology in a totally different way than it was invented. And think about, we invented all the networks. We got some 5 billion people having a mobile phone, and basically it was one service. That was to call each other. The only thing you know for sure, the next 10, 15 years, that's the smallest service there is in the networks, because connectivity is data, and a lot of other things will happen in networks. So we're creating something we call the network society, where anything that benefits from being connected will be connected in the future. And we started to do predictions of it. And we have a lot of predictions. We believe by 2020 it's going to be 50 billion connected devices. We have pretty good grip on how many people that are actually going to have a mobile phone 5 years from now, how many are going to use data services 5 years from now.
There are 50 billion connections but there are only 6 billion people.
Absolutely.
What are we going to connect?
Yeah, I think you should start thinking about how many connected devices do you have?
Yeah, it's just...
I think that in my home I would easily come up to 15.
I wouldn't use me as an example.
But I would use me.
I have a telephone, I have a computer. I don't know.
The TV is connected?
TV. I don't have a TV.
Okay.
I have a radio.
I have a radio.
I listen to BBC every day.
And your power meter is going to be connected one day, if it's not already. You're going to have roads, light poles being connected in order to manage electricity.
The trend is sort of hyperconnectivity, and we've only just started with our smartphone.
We're in the brink of moving into the second phase of this technology revolution. We've not seen it really yet.
Yeah.
What's the price of your stock?
My price of my stock today is around 78 Swedish kronas per share.
I might call up my broker.
Here's the okay, so that's a very interesting trend. Dorothy, what are the trends that are sort of big in your...
Yeah, when you asked the question and you gave your answer, I found myself thinking about it. I mean, one of the most challenging things at Drax has been that we took the decision, actually soon after I joined, that our strategy would be about carbon abatement. And that's because there's a site in the UK, we're the largest carbon emitter in the UK by a factor of 2. We're also twice as big as anyone else, but that's it. But it's not a good thing to be the largest carbon emitter. And we decided, for carbon abatement, for sustainability, we needed to find a low-carbon solution. When we did that, the carbon market, European carbon market, had only just been introduced. And maybe if I give you some numbers, because actually that was 7, 8 years ago. Now we're implementing it, and actually I think my board and shareholders are thrilled. And the reason is because our carbon costs are soaring. Last year our carbon bill was about 90 million. This year it will be close to 200 million.
Sorry, this is because you have to pay for